Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you for sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I want to talk today about population control, what it means, where it comes from, what's its longer implications, and why this is relevant to us and to you. So the first thing that we're going to talk about with population rate is the amount of babies and birth rate. So if you have two parents with one kid, the population graph slows down and it gets smaller. So if you have two parents with two kids, the population graph stays even and it keeps growing. That's sustainability. Now, if you have three kids, the population graph starts to grow bigger, like the Illuminati. So what it is if you have a population rate of 2.1 in a set country, the country is sustainable. If you have more than two, like 3 children, the population growth rate is an incline. And if you have one baby, the population growth is in decline. It's not inclination. It's not inclining anyways. So the thing to understand here is that once a population reaches 1.1, it's irreversible, and you can't get the repopulation to recoup its stocks. So now that might sound a little crazy, and you're like, where are you hearing this from, or who told you that? But the thing is, it's a fact, because you got to think that you have so many more parents, but so many more, so fewer children, that this population can't sustain itself. Now, what might be a problem if a population can't sustain itself? Well, imagine you have a city like Tokyo, which is going on today. They're saying to the people, hey, move to the countryside, right? Now, what's wrong with that? So you get to the countryside, and you got these guys, and they want to, they want to watch pornography on the internet. So where's the Wi-Fi? So they don't want to live there, right? And that's the thing, because they're not so much into making families. So then you have these people, they can't get their Wi-Fi to watch their pornography. They don't want to move there. They're not going to farm the area. They're not going to build hospitals. They're not going to contribute to society. They're not going to pay taxes. So now another thing, a problem, is if you have way more elderly and parents and way few children on the bottom, the problem becomes, who is going to pay all the social security and all the government funding to keep everything running, right? So another thing is that with the population decline, how do you realistically spark things back up and get it going again? How do you make people get back together and have more children? Is it as easy as just saying, oh, well, no one's got a gun to no one's head. It's not like they can't make more children, right? Which is true, which is just a very surface level understanding of population and growth rate, right? So you have people that are not going to pay in the taxes, not going to build the infrastructure. And a sign of this would be, imagine you're at an elementary school, and the kids are done, and there's not very many kids left there, and the teacher's like, yeah, you know what, or the school district's like, you know what, we don't really know if this even makes sense anymore to keep it all going, right? So that's one situation. That's one problem. Another problem is sign is that if you go to the supermarket, you'll see more diapers for elderly people than you will for children. That's kind of weird too. Now that we've established what the problem is, what it does, how it happens, we have to discuss why it happens. And the West will always give you answers to the how, but it never addresses the why. And what's the why? It's that people are spiritually sick. Yes, the population is spiritually sick. And people, imagine you have two people get married. One has the masculine energy and one has the feminine energy. But we can't say gender anymore, right? Because we have to not get banned off the internet. So we just say if one has the masculine energy and one has the feminine energy, and if the one with the feminine energy believes that she contributes more to society by getting an education and a job, then why would the feminine one be a mother, right? So once the feminine side is all screwed up and all out of whack, there goes the population, right? You look at places like China, and they have a one-child policy, and all that was another spiritual sickness where man tries to play God, but they try to play God with all the GMOing your DNA, GMOing this, everything. So that's the thing in a nutshell. Now, you can't just jumpstart a population all over again. How do you explain to people, hey, just start breeding like a lot and have like all these children that don't have fathers? That's super ineffective. That's not practical, that's not feasible, and that's not reasonable. So am I able to break down all of population decline to you? No. But you have to look at countries in the West that have major population problems, where they know they have to bring in other people from other countries to beef up the population. And when you take other people from another country and put them in another country, then the majority of the one country becomes the minority, which turns everything on its head. I'm not trying to get into immigration. I'm talking about population growth. Now you might think, oh, this is completely insane. We have too many people, blah, 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 blah. But if you've ever taken a plane ride, you'll notice that half the world's empty. And that's just a myth. And the only person that's actually screaming from the mountaintops is Elon Musk. But who can trust that guy? You know what I mean? So that is population control part 1. And I will have to make another video, just like I did about ESG, in due time. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.